we have a new Knick, and his name is Cameron Payne. He was a free agent. He has a great relationship with Mikal Bridges, and one part of that reason that I believe the Knicks signed him was because of the relationship he had with Mikal Bridges. Either way, though, the Knicks signed him in free agency to the vet minimum, and now he's on the Knicks. One of the main questions that came out, though, once that signing happened, though, is what was the future going to hold for Miles McBride, and what was really going to be Cam Payne's role? We have so many guards on the roster right now. We're filled at the guard spot. We need a center, not another guard. So really, even myself, I was asking, what was going to be Cam Payne's role? What was he going to do on this team? And how many minutes was he reasonably going to see on this team? So Cam Payne's role on the Knicks has been revealed. And I'm so happy to talk about that with you guys today. With the Knicks, they have Cam Payne. He is a guard, a veteran guard. We know how Tom Thibodeau feels about the vets. And even though Miles McBride isn't quote unquote a vet, he hasn't played in this league as long as Cam Payne has. And that's going to go a long way. Cam Payne, he also has playoff experience. He has chemistry and relationships with core guys on this team. If you take all of those things into consideration, it's no reason why they signed him. And they signed him not to just have him on the bench to be a cheerleader, be the new T.O. Pinson. That's not why they signed him. According to Ian Begley, they signed him to have a significant role on the bench, and he's going to play significant minutes. Let's break down this latest report from Begley. According to Begley, he states on Cam Payne's role and potential minutes he'll play for New York. I think he's going to get significant minutes in that second unit with the Knicks. Be the floor leader for that bench unit, which we would assume would include Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, maybe Miles McBride. He will get consistent minutes. I don't think he would have come here without the idea of getting minutes. Begley states this, though. I haven't heard that specifically, but it would surprise me because I'm sure he had several suitors out there on the open market. So that's something very interesting to note from Begley, and I agree with him. There is no reason at all for a veteran like him to join the Knicks, even if you have championship aspirations. There's no reason to join the Knicks if you're not going to see the floor, if you're not going to play significant minutes. You need to do that. That's why you want to play for any contending team. You don't want to sit on the bench and just ride it out. You want to play, especially somebody like Cam Payne. And Cam Payne under head coach Tom Thibodeau, his defense, the way he can steal the ball, he can shoot the three ball very well too. You put all those things together, that's a guard you want on your bench, and that's the guard that can do well under Tom Thibodeau. And if Thibs is comfortable with giving him significant minutes off the bench and having him run the offense basically off the bench, then that's another significant point here I think we have to mention that could indicate that Deuce McBride is going to be traded and he's going to be gone from this team. Don't want that to happen, but given this report we just heard, if he's going to get significant minutes, the next question you have to ask yourself is, where are those minutes going to come from? Look at the roster we have already. You got Cam Payne there. You have Dante there. You have Josh Hart there. I don't know who they're going to sign in terms of another backup. If they sign Precious, you have Precious there. You have Sims there. Maybe you can run a Cam Payne, Miles McBride, and then play Dante at the 3, Josh at the 4, and then run a Sims out there or a Chua out there, or whatever you want to do. But again, that would mean Tom Thibodeau expands his rotation. Is he expanding his rotation? I'm thinking 9 or 10 guys at most. If that's the case, a starter is always going to be put in there with the bench unit. So maybe you don't need that 4 because the 4 is going to be OG, or it's going to be Mikal, or it's going to be Randall. So that's going to be your 4 off the bench, and then whoever the backup big is. Achua, somebody they trade for, Jericho Sims, but that could potentially be the roster that you have there. And that's something to think about because Cam Payne, for whatever you want to say, maybe not a starting type of caliber point guard at this point of his career, but in terms of being a backup, he can be a very good backup, quality backup, allow Jalen Brunson to rest on the bench type of backup. And the Knicks have been looking for that. Even though Deuce could potentially give you that, he can play some point guard. He's not really a point guard. He's more of a 2 guard. The Knicks really need another player that can play point guard. That's more of their traditional role. Cam Payne can do that, and he can pass very well as well, too. He can get others involved. I think the writing is on the wall here after this report. I don't know if the Knicks have a ton of faith, as much faith that they have in Miles McBride and Cam Payne. But the fact that they are comfortable with giving Cam Payne significant minutes off the bench, having him be the leader of the floor off the bench for that bench unit says a lot. It means a lot. It also means a lot that Bagley stated he would not have come here if he wasn't promised at some point in time that he was going to play significant minutes. I don't know what significant minutes off the bench for Thibs is. I'm guessing anywhere upwards from 19 to 20 minutes per game. I think that's the amount of time he's going to see. If that's the case, I don't think Deuce is going to be here any longer. I think Deuce is going to be traded. He is going to be out of here in a trade for some type of center, probably a backup center. And then once we get that happening, that's going to be the last move the Knicks do. And then they're going to settle on their roster, make smaller additions, smaller moves for these role players, just filling out the roster, making sure they have enough players. Once that happens, we're going to know who the core players are. Right now, we know who the core is, but we're trying to figure out who the backup's going to be and who the backup point guard really is going to be. Is it going to be Cam Payne? Is it going to be a combination of Cam Payne and Deuce McBride? Or is Deuce going to be out of here? Everything is pointing at the fact right now that the only way the Knicks can get that starting center or backup center is via trade. You have to give to get. The only thing the Knicks have to give away right now is a Chua on a sign-in trade, Deuce McBride, the Jericho Sims, these protected picks. That's it. We have nothing else. And that's what it's going to take to get another backup big, and likely what the Knicks are going to give up to get that backup big. And Cam Payne going to be the backup behind Jalen Brunson off the bench. That was shocking to me right there. I don't know about you guys. We're going to go to the comments in a second, but I was shocked by that. We had so many guards. We saw what Deuce McBride did last year in the postseason. We saw him go off, had a breakout year. I thought without question that it was his job to lose, and going into training camp that maybe Cam Payne could fight him for it. But that was Deuce's job. He's more than earned it. But after hearing that report, it looks like Deuce is going to be on the move. The Knicks have a lot of faith in Cam Payne. They trust him. He's going to be the vet off the bench. You need vets in this league to win championships. I'll give you that. But still a shocking report nonetheless. If you enjoyed these clips from the live show, be sure to subscribe to the channel and have notifications turned on so you don't miss any new episodes or when we go live. Thanks for watching, Knick fans, and until next time, peace.